wanted to talk a little bit about the board meeting last night, the process, and provide some transparency to you in that regard. The board met last night for about 3 hours. I want to say, first off, the board is a tremendous constitution of wise and learned individuals. Over a 3-hour period, there is a wide diversity of views. There are longtime patrons of the board who have a history that exceeds other members of the board by decades. There are individuals whose voice represents the artistry and artist community. There are individuals whose voices represent donors. There are individuals whose voices represent the corporate community here in Milwaukee. The board conducted themselves with professionalism, respect for all views. It was a spirited debate, which, you know, over the course of 3 hours, you get a lot talked about in 3 hours. We talked about the long-term future of the Skylight. We talked about the financial viability of the Skylight. We talked about, for a brief time, how we got there. We talked about what we wanted the vision of the Skylight to be. And at the end of that 3 hours, we had a decision to make in terms of, you know, what we wanted to do in the next interim period of time. We had choices. Those choices were debated, and at the end of that period of time, we took a vote. The vote was close. You all know what it is. But one of the great things about America and our process is that everybody gets input. And to a T, you know, there was, first of all, one theme that was unanimous out of all 28 members of the board. And that is a commitment to the artistry and a commitment to the product that's placed on stage. Now, the second commitment is that there is a professed love of the organization and the institution that is the Skylight. That was unanimous. And I think I don't run the risk of speaking out of turn with respect to that. How we preserved that issue was the spirit of the debate. And when the decision was made to retain Eric, you know, during the next interim period of time to move the Skylight forward. Now, you can argue with the decision. You can be disappointed with the decision. But another thing that's great about our country is that when everybody has a chance to have input, when it's fair, winners need to be humble. They need to reach out to make sure that all the views and all the constituencies and the diversity of views are appropriate. Those people on the other side need to be gracious in their defeat. They need to respond with honor and statesmanship. And we all have one objective here, which is the preservation and the future direction of the institution called the Skylight. And I'm not going to say there aren't going to be hard decisions to make over the next 6 months. My next set of comments are going to be on the future, okay? And I can tell you that in my career, I've had decisions that I didn't like. I've been on boards that I didn't agree with their decision. But if I didn't agree with the decision, you know, it was still incumbent on me to take the honorable course, you know, follow the majority's decision, and put every ounce of energy I could into supporting that majority's decision. I had a vote in there last night too. I'm not telling you which direction I voted, okay? But whatever direction it was, when I was asked to take this on, to use a Nebraska metaphor, it's time to cowboy up, you know, and look to the future of this organization. So that's my comments on the transparency of what went on last night. All the potential actions were considered. I just Can't say enough about the professionalism of the board. There were tears, there was emotions, but at the end of the day, it was fair, it was respectful, and everybody had a chance to put their input in on the decision. That said, third set of comments. What do we do going forward? I'm not going to kid you. You know, we got a $450,000 overdrawn at the bank checkbook from last year. Okay? Put that into material, terms. We're on extended credit or the credit line or whatever the banks allow you to do on your personal checking account. We have a $200,000 deficit staring us in the face here for this year. If everybody did their job right, and I'll lay out what everybody's job is, we'd be lucky to get through the end of this year with a $100,000 deficit. What is lucky? Okay? Lucky is everybody committed to the future of that institution, focused on their job.